somebody else talk about? To their inanimate objects? I don't know why I bother with this. This is ridiculous. Is anybody alive on TikTok? Did everybody bail? Did everybody jump off of TikTok? Is anybody on here anymore? Is anybody on this app anymore? I need to know. Is anybody on here anymore, or am I deleting it and going away? Who's still on TikTok? Can someone tell me who's still here? Who's still here? Are you seeing my live? Like, I see people that are live. They have interaction. What's going on where I'm at? It's a lot of gas. I guess not, yeah. What the fuck is happening right now? Weirdo. What the hell is going on right now? Ashe, top of the day. I'm gonna get some heat in here because I'm a little chilly. How are we? Welcome in. Hi, I'm Kat, by the way, and I'm you and you're me. At the end of the day, welcome to the Matrix labyrinth game that you are in, that no one ever told you about. And part of the game was to erase your memory. Aw, that's the first prize you get after your 3rd birthday. You get your memory wiped clean of who you really are and what you really see and know. Because from birth to 3, you know things. And you can see the light in all of us. You can also see the light dim or be put out and be scared. Because why? There's a lot of ugly energies out there. And alcohol kills our vibration and our soul because it's a carcinogenic. Amongst other things as well, because we live in a debauchery world of lies and corruption and sin. It's right in front of you. It's being served to you on a silver platter right now. And I want you to actually think about things, because all these murders that have been happening on live TV, have we seen any investigations whatsoever? Have we seen anything? I'm just saying, because at this point, we physically will perish because these bodies are plants, but our energy doesn't die, right? Our energy doesn't die. Now, I want to rewind back to a makeshift assassination that happened to someone on their ear. Right, so, you know that we have special effects, right? You know that Hollywood is very intertwined to our government, right? With NASA, too. It's all a big show and production. Do you think Charlie Kirk's really dead, guys? Do you think he's really dead? Like, think about the pot, and now think about the stirring of the pot. think about back in a day, Fauci and COVID, right? And the anger, the manipulation, the control, and the power dynamic that was trying to what? Force people to comply. It's exactly what ICE is doing right now. Because they're not going after immigrants. I'm not cheering for Kurt. I'm showing you what you see is not all real. What we are hearing is not real. Okay? They will monitor your videos and tell you you can't say the word but say grape, right? They'll monitor you for what? For what? You can show us clear day someone being murdered on the streets by your hands, but we're not allowed to say certain words or do certain things? I don't think so. More rights for immigrants. We're all immigrants, you know. Dork! We're all immigrants. We're all immigrants. Stop labeling people. Give me a freaking break. America was supposed to be the land of the free, where everybody comes to live their dreams. Yeah, is there due process? Is there all of that? Absolutely. Is there a lot of illegal immigrants? I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest with you, because they're not bothering me. They're people living their life, just like I'm living my life. Duh. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. It's a simulation in physics. We look for a singularity that will not be found. Focus on the slit experience. What? Yes, the simulation. It's another word for it, right? The simulation, the matrix, the psyops that's going on, which is what I'm just trying to say. This whole psyops is putting people in lack of control and anger, right? Because anger is a secondary emotion to what? Being accosted, being manipulated, being gaslit, being abused, being controlled, being lied to. That anger builds, which is a vibration, guys. That anger is a vibration. No, we are not immigrants. We are conquered and established, functioning society compared to the tribes killing each other that also migrated here. False, false, false. Everything you're seeing is constructed and fabricated. All of it. All your little BLMs, all your little Antifas, all your little terrorists. That was all the government. January 6th was still the government. These are paid actors, for God's sakes. You have paid actors. You have special effects people. You have a production going on in your government attached to Hollywood. Wake up. Every institution is connected and feeds the other hand. That's how it works and keeps us enslaved and entrapped in this game. Hello. Very good. You're so observant, Corey. Oh my God. You get a cookie. I do live in my SUV. It's called a nomadic lifestyle. And I chose this in May. I actually 3 years ago wanted to move into a bus and convert a bus into a schoolie. That's how you get out of this construct of a matrix of people controlling you. But you keep paying somebody else and keep thinking that everything you own on the outside makes you valuable, because it doesn't. It makes you actually more controllable. The more you own, the more you are controlled. You do realize that, right? The more attachments you have, the more you are controlled. So, peace, Corey. Like, do you think your insults or your comments are going to have any effect on me? I stand in my sovereignty. I stand in my truth. I stand in who I am. And it's comical. Anywho, yeah, so we're all in this massive psyops again. There's been a psyops every year at this point. I think that's why we're so exhausted. Because there wasn't a psyops every year. Like, we had 9/11. What happened before 9/11? Like, I feel like there might have been a time in between or whatever. 9/11 is where you lost a lot of your freedoms in travel. Just letting you know. You're renting a house and buying an RV as well. She's 100% right. Yay! You're getting an RV. I love that. Yeah, so here's the thing. I didn't get an RV. I didn't get a van. I got an SUV. I got a Mazda. I was all about being nomadic. I was going to go campgrounds and tent camping and all that. And I did that. I did that for the first month. I went tent camping and all that. And it was amazing. It's expensive. And then because of that, my experience, my chapter of this had to be me relearning and breaking out of my identity character for the last time. It was the last part of the survival character of money, lack of mindset as well, right? And fear, right? So this was a huge experience to break me out of that final lack of mindset that we all carry around, because we've all been given it since the day of birth from our parents and whatnot. We're the enslaved, so we have to relook at everything, especially money, right? Because money is your currency, and currency is your frequency, and your frequency is very, very low. You have to make it very, very high to remember who you are, and then your currency flows. Do we get it? Right. But you have to realize that, and realize that you don't have to chase the apple to get the apple. Okay? The apple just comes to you. Where was I going with this? Oh, so my point of saying all this was, if I bought this car in April and moved into it in May and purged my apartment. If I was to buy a van in April and then move into the van in May and whatever, I would not have learned as much as I have learned in this experience since then. We're almost at a year going on, right? So this past 10 months or so is literally been detrimental in me learning and adapting and breaking out of what I needed to break out of. But if I was comfortable-ish, I wouldn't have broke out as much. I wouldn't have seen different perspectives, right? I wouldn't have broken out of it. And we don't have to go through the bad to appreciate the good, but we do have to go through the experience to reveal a different perspective, because if we don't, we won't see it. We won't shift. Does that make sense? Does that comprehend? Our experiences, in a way, are keys to unlock certain shifts in our brain. Did I not just have the car on? Did I not turn? Wait, I don't remember. I guess I turned it off. Yeah, it was warm. Now I'm cold again. Key. Yeah, because I took the sweater out because it got warm. That's where like, now I'm cold again. So I put the sweater on. Well, I can't complain. I mean, I'm in California and it was, what, 45 degrees for maybe a few hours. And went up to 49. We're probably in the 50s now. And I'm looking at the ocean and there's no snow. So, I can't complain. It's not that bad. But anywho. And that's the thing too. So here's another illusion. So TikTok is being funky with everybody, right? My TikTok is still getting, I don't even know. Like, I'm getting some things on it, but not really. Like, I posted, I think, like 15 videos yesterday. All of them are at 0. And I don't care. I just wanted the videos so I could repurpose them on other stuff. Just emptied out my drafts, basically. I think I'm just going to uninstall the app, sign out and uninstall it. That way they can't access my account and they can't do anything to my account. It's just there. Just like on every app. I have accounts on every app. Don't be scared of the apps. The apps aren't unless they just don't work. But I found people live on TikTok and theirs seems to be, but I don't know. Minnesota at that. Like the lady, part of the narrative, I guess. I don't know. Hi, Logan. How are you? Ow. He's biting his nail. He's biting his nail. It sounds like it hurts. What are you doing? That sounds like it hurts. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? It sounds like it hurts. Does it hurt? It sounds like it hurts. No, it doesn't hurt. It sounds like it hurts. It sounds like it hurts. It sounds like it hurts. Doesn't look it though. Guess your nails are tough. So are your teeth. It's bad though. I love you. Silly boy. You're such a silly boy. I love you. I love you. Alright, I'm gonna say goodbye to Instagram. Beauty only recognizes beauty. Remember that. Hey guys, alright, so I'm going to be starting live again here daily on Twitch. Not really sure why videos aren't being saved on here, but we are going to be up and running. TikTok apparently is dead, so I'm going to refocus. So again, website's still the same, everything's still the same, Patreon, all that. And yeah, see you soon. Hey guys, alright, so I'm going to be starting live again here daily on Twitch. Not really sure why videos aren't being saved. Nice. Nice. Alrighty, we're ready to rumble! Who's ready to rumble? Who's ready to rumble? Who's ready to confront that ego? Who wants to confront their ego? So, your ego. Your ego is your friend. Your ego is your teacher and your guide. You do know that, right? However, if you live in that emotion and give that emotion power, where you're not just observing it anymore, you're absorbing it, that's where you lose it. And then this ego becomes more of a defense because you're now in survival and the ego has to defend you. In the ego's defense, you're never wrong. So the ego sees you as never wrong and to protect you, which is what you project out, right? That's why it's such a hard wall to get through, to be like, oh wait, I may be wrong. I live a nomadic lifestyle, yes. Another really observant person. Wow, your eyes work. That's a confirmation. Amazing. Do you know anything about nomadic lifestyle? Hello from New Zealand. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And even if there was, it wouldn't matter because I don't care. There's absolutely nothing wrong, and it's part of freedom. The only way you're going to break free, guys, is until you start minimalizing and releasing and detaching from the material world. You cannot be free if you are attached to the material world. If you are attached to material things will own you. Because you're attached to them, just like you're attached to food. You're attached to food because you think you need it to survive. You don't need those Doritos to survive. And if it's not your meaning, then move on. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to convert you. I'm not even here for you to follow me. I don't care. I am here to trigger you, though, into maybe waking the fuck up. Yes, I pick up and go wherever I want. Exactly. Everything I own is literally in my car. Everything in my... No roots. I am the root. You silly goose. You are convinced that you need to have land and a house and a family and all that and be stationary. The more that you stay stationary, the more you stay stuck. You're not going to evolve. You're not going to grow, which means you're not going to ascend. No, absolutely not. Your ego, gods are lower deities, okay, first and foremost. You will never be a god because gods are lower deities. We are fragments of infinite. Nothing is higher than infinite. Nothing can touch infinite. Why do you think you are now enslaved in these bodies in this world? Because your energy is priceless. Take it back. Get your energy back. Remember who you are. And stop with all the other bullshit that you're hearing. I don't think you're against it, but when you bring up, like, here's the thing. I don't care if you're against my lifestyle or not. It doesn't matter. It's not going. It takes a lot of balls to release from the material world and to embrace the unknown and to literally go, well, I want to be free and I want to live at the ocean and I want to go wherever I want to go. That takes some balls. I'm just going to throw that out there, okay? So when people ask me, you living in your car, shows me that I've triggered you. And that, you know, and I've been dealing with this since day one because this is the world we live in. Who are they to judge? The game. They're just trolls. And here's the thing. Judgment is fine. I don't care. Judge me all you want. Because your judgment is you. It's not me. It's not my vibration. I don't care. I don't care. All of me is not here for anyone's approval or satisfaction or right or wrong. I'm playing my game and I literally am healing. 2018 was my last alcoholic beverage. From that time on, I have now become 100% holistic. And I've learned a lot of shit. And I've connected the dots that we live in an institution program, okay? You live in an institutional matrix that is controlling your every move and enslaving you. And the only way out is through. And I've been through it all, and I'm a walking receipt. I was raised Catholicism. I was raised by two narcissistic, freaking abusive parents. I had a wonderful childhood. Let's just put it that way, okay? I've been raped. I have tried to commit suicide. I was put into a hospital for children. I was put into a medical hospital in 6th grade for Crohn's disease. Almost died from that, supposedly. And then, let's see, what else? Oh, then I joined the military. Then I also was married for 17 and a half years. Oh, yeah. Then I abused alcohol. I've done legal secretary. Always go back to the restaurants. And then as well as, just myself into oblivion, and then ended up going to county, and then later into prison system of, a private prison where I taught and was a janitor, and they got paid for my ass $157,000. And where do you think that money came from? And then in the private prison, I was told that 95% of the women that were sitting in the room will be back. I literally stood up and I went, why would you talk to any of us like that? This was a counselor, right? And I'm all, because, no, then that means you're making it that way and you're trapping them into this system. Because it's a revolving door. And that's, once you're in the system, they like to cash cow you. Kind of like what ICE is doing, where they're profiling and they're putting it in. It's like, guaranteed little, whatever. But they're trying to stir the pot and whatever. I don't know. This is getting to be too, how do I put it? Too movie-ish, okay? And I'm going to say it. The Charlie Kirk murder, the assassination on Trump, fabricated, false, and performative. Plain and simple. If Charlie Kirk has perished, well, we all know that that was a planned assassination murder to fit their narrative. So was Renee Good. Because why in hell would they come up on her car? And why would this one ICE agent video the entire thing, circle her car twice, then move the phone over to free the hand to shoot? Sweethearts, that's full intention right there. That's full intention, and our government slipped when they made their statement because Vance said he was following orders. Following orders. You're going to go after the women first because you think we're the weakest. And that's where you're going to be wrong. Because now the truth is out and women will fight back. We haven't fought back because we honestly believed in this patriarchy, indoctrination, conditioning, religion, institution bullshit. But the more that the women wake up, the more that the men will not have any control. Second Amendment is there for a reason, but you know what? It doesn't always have to be a gun, does it? No. There's other ways of doing things, guys. You don't fight fire with fire, do you? We don't ever fight fire with fire. Remember that. Remember that when you get angry. We don't fight fire with fire. Ever. You'll never get anywhere with that. Yeah, that's huge right there. That's the anger right there. Oh, you're funny. You're funny. I don't have any fear because fear is false evidence appearing real. There isn't anything in this world that has power over me, including your little troll thing. I love that. I'm going to report you. I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to tell on you. It's going to go on your permanent record, and I'm going to tell on you. That's basically what you're saying, man. Oh no, I might be in trouble. Give me liberty or give me death. I stand by that. Not many people will. Alex did. Big buffoons running around fucking the streets acting like it's just all like at this point I'm done. We're only hearing about Minneapolis. Where is everyone else? Right? And here's the other thing too. Like the protesting, I understand. I do understand the protesting. I feel like it's part of the mix though. It's one of those catch-22s, right? If we don't protest, then they just will do whatever they want type of thing. Change rules, whatever. But they're doing it anyway. Who cares what's on paper? It's bullshit. I think my thing is like, stand up for the underdog, right? Like instead of filming somebody or filming somebody being accosted, step in and help. That's the protest right there. Don't protest and walk and whistle and film everything. Step the fuck in. 2 ladies were accosted in Minnesota out of their car. They broke the window open. They hit them from the rear, broke their window open, and took them in and accosted them for 8 hours for no reason. For fear. A Minnesota woman and her friend. For fear. That's it. Just terrorizing. And people filmed and whistled. No one stepped in. This young kid, teenage boy, was held to the ground by one officer in ICE, and no one was doing anything. That's where I would get the kid up, take him out, and confront the officer, because you guys are playing stupid reindeer games and allowing it. What you're letting fear drive another human being and allowing them to do whatever they want to somebody. What? Do unto others as you want done to you. If you were in that situation, what would you want done for you? Then do that for the other person. It's that easy, guys. It's that easy. Do unto others as you would do to you. Simple. All right, let's switch the subject, shall we? What would you like to talk about? Bet you want to see my scene too, YouTube, huh? All right, let's see. We are going to... There you go. And then, do I need you anymore? No! Excellent! I don't need you anymore for the day. But I'll need you later. Seriously, how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? Actually, we'll just take it out. Oh, it worked. Look at that. And then we'll just do that. Yay! Now I can actually smoke. Anyway. Welcome to California. Welcome to California. I am in Southern California. Where are you? Oh, I gotta put that satellite out. Alright, I guess I'll do that too. Better? Is it better? Right. A little foggy there, huh? Alright. Un momento. Alrighty. So, yes. Welcome to Southern California. Very so nice. Look at that beautiful view. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Wait to fix my treatment, my windows treatment to the back of my car. It's so annoying. Okay. Okay. Wait. Getting there. Yes, welcome to Southern California, my Twitchies. It is beautiful. Welcome to my front yard. Oh, Jesus. There's the wind. Alright, that's my solar panel. We have, we're getting one. sun is just rising. Callie is calling. Oh, well, you need to get here. You need to get here. Not gonna lie, though. The roads are not fun. And it's definitely a little on the expensive side. But, yeah. Get your ass to Cali! I'm in Southern Cali. So, the lowest it's been is 45. I do indeed. Canada ain't it no more. Oh, you're in Canada. Cold. You get to Cali. Cali. Get to Cali. Become nomadic. Get to Cali. Buy a van. Or whatever. Very cold. Yeah, no, I get it. I wouldn't want to be there either. I lived in Maine for 9 years. I was raised on the East Coast, Philadelphia, New York. So very familiar with the cold. Very familiar. Actually gonna buy. I love that. I wanted to be a schoolie. I wanted to renovate a school bus. Like, I think it was 4 years ago is when I decided I was going to be a schoolie. I wanted to convert a school bus. Financially, though, that just never worked out. And I ended up falling into not getting ahead, right, financially, and staying complacent in jobs. Me losing my job in March due to me not sleeping with my boss was universally, divinely guided. I pleaded and cried to quit my job because it was killing my soul and I was lying to people. I teach health and wellness, and I was poisoning people. So I took that as, all right, well, it's time to go. Because if he never fired me, I would still be working there. Why? Because I worked right on the beach and I had no real reason to leave. Because why? We stay complacent and small because it's a familiar hell and it's a stable hell. We have to embrace the unknown no matter how scary it is. Because the other side is always more freedom than what we're looking at. That was your first idea. I love that. I still want the school bus idea, but I kind of, if I get the school bus, I want lands. I would love to convert a school bus type of thing and put it on land, or yeah, because otherwise it's too big. I like the SUV because I can park and it doesn't, nobody really knows, you know, it's more of that. Well, you have like these buses. There's a huge bus van right there. Now, you know, inside of that is sweet because that's a lot of room right there. That's a full-on bathroom, you know, like kitchen, couch maybe. Like, that's nice. But again, it's big. And where are you going to put it? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm still on the fence about a lot of things. I'd rather just have a yacht at this point and sail away into this ocean. I love that. Thank you. I know. I haven't been on Twitch in like eons. Well, it's been probably about a year since I was streaming on Twitch daily. So I guess we're going to go back to that. 6'5". Okay, yeah. So SUV's not going to work for you. That's... Got it. So that van would actually be good for you. What you're going to need, and not so much really the wide, like the length. You don't really need the length, but you're going to need tallness. You're going to need a bus that either has an extension on the top or, you know, extend the top because you're so tall. Otherwise, there's no other way. You're going to bend over. I love that. My webpage, my website is linked in the profile. All my social medias are on there. So I'm so glad you found me. That's awesome. Hey, everything happens for a reason. I don't believe in coincidences. So you found me for a reason. Again, I teach holistic health and wellness. I am what therapy should be. I give you the answers and the keys for you to move forward and move on. Modern medicine therapy will keep you on the hamster wheel and continuing the problem and never fix it. Okay? So, again, I'm 100% holistic and our bodies heal. Thinking about extending the top of it, right? Extending the top of the cars. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, you're going to have to need a higher roof. Because even in my SUV, I'm 5'4 3/4". Yeah, the top. Okay. And I was having, like, I put the seat this way and then I was putting my head here and sleeping that way. It doesn't work for me. So what I do now is I flatten the front seat out and I push it all the way up. And then I put my head all the way back there. And then I have all of this to do. Stretch out and whatever. And I'm only 5. The entire car, I think, is probably like 6 feet. So you don't want an SUV. You definitely want a van in that aspect, depending on how you're going to lay. Other than that, it's quite simple. Your height's going to make things a little more obstacle, but other than that, just make sure you have a power station. A solar-powered power station at all times. Have a portable water kettle. You're going to need a portable water kettle. Hand mixer is also nice. A portable hand mixer will also be nice. How do you get rid of the bot? How do you get rid of the bot comments on here? I love this. Tap on it and delete it. Well, I tapped on it and it took me to the website. It's not letting me. I'm on my phone. It's being very weird. I don't want to hide the chat. On my phone, it's being very weird. Huh. Oh, I got it. What the? It didn't give me a delete. Why is it not giving me a delete? I can't. I'm on the phone and it won't do it. For some reason, these apps are all being weird. Once I maybe get TikTok off my phone as well, maybe my phone will start acting right again. Oh, okay, so it's Twitch Mobile. Got it. Because on my tablet, it works fine. On my tablet, Twitch works. My phone, things get weird. YouTube doesn't really work on my phone either. That's why I have to do YouTube on my tablet. Which is why I always have to be in a place with good internet. Oh, okay, so that's the other thing too. If you want to be completely free and nomadic, you're going to have to get internet. You're going to have to get a Skylink or whatever like that. And you can find used ones or whatever on Facebook. I have yet to do that. I haven't needed to because I stay in places that still have internet, remarkably. I'm at the ocean and I have internet. Whatever. I'm not going to knock it. I love it. It's amazing. Well, you're going to need that. Yeah. Again, that depends on where you're going, though. Like, if you're going to travel out into the desert, you're going to go deep into the forests and shit like that, then you're going to need Skylink. I recommend it just because the more you're off-grid, the better it is, right? Eventually, that will be on my list, but right now, it's not really needed. Now, as for your kitchen, I highly recommend a power station that is going to kick ass. At least 5,000. Mine's only, I think, 500 to 1,000. But it does what I needed to do. It doesn't support a heater. So that's things that you're going to have to look at. Your power station, what you want it to support heating-wise. They do have refrigerators, little ones that you can install too. So that's always good. Also, when keeping warm as well, if you don't have, the heater or whatever. When you make your bed, I have to go get some, but cardboard. Cardboard is kind of essential to lay on. It helps with the cold and whatnot. And of course, like cotton blankets and like a reflector. People were saying like the insulation, like the reflectors underneath the cardboard to help with the heat in your cars or in your vans. Just don't put them in between because they make a lot of noise, type of thing. I've seen that, but I'm gonna get the cardboard, and then I gotta get. I'm gonna need window treatments. You probably want custom window treatments. I've been using the ones that we buy in the store. They're a pain in the ass. But I'm trying to think. Water. You are going to need water containers. If you can find a 5-gallon glass water container, get it. If not, then you're going to buy the gallon glass or gallon stainless steel. That is the only way you want to hold your water, guys. Stop with these plastic bottles, especially the plastic water bottles that they're all like, oh, it's safe. No, it's not. Plastic is plastic. Let me say that again. Plastic is plastic. Toxic is toxic. You're not going to put fresh homemade bread that's chemically free in a plastic bag. You're going to put it in a brown bag, aren't you? Think about it. Think about it. But yeah, so we have the water. Now here in the States, you can now start buying water at water stations. Here in California, they have them at like the supermarkets or whatever. You can just Google it, water station. And they sell 3 types of water. Filtered, which is 98%. Then reosmosis, distilled water, which is what you want. And then alkaline water, which is what you don't want. Alkaline water is distilled water, and then they put the synthetic chemicals back in. What? You want me to pay for chemically enhanced water? What? No. It's funny to me. What got me into the van life? The Matrix. I have always wanted my freedom. I have never wanted to be tied down. I've never wanted to be latched on. I've never wanted any of that. I've always been a free fucking bird since the day I was born, and this world has been trying to contain me since. And somewhat succeeded for a minute. But yeah, because I don't want to working in restaurants and working for another person to acquire a dollar bill to pay to somebody else for my home doesn't seem to make sense to me. And it doesn't seem like that's my life. I'm not living my life. I'm living a life to serve other people. I don't think so. So the only way to live is to be free. And the only way to be free is to be nomadic. And what is nomadic? Is literally living as a gypsy and a traveler. And I'm good with that. My dreams are finally here. It doesn't make sense, right? But a lot of us don't really actually put 2 and 2 together, do we? We don't really think about, it doesn't make sense, or there's more to the world than what we're seen or told. And when we do hear about other things, if it doesn't fit, we feel weird and like believing it. Like aliens, for example, right? Aliens and we don't want to believe in aliens, right? Because if we believe in aliens, then that makes us really small in a way, right? Or all of it. At the same time, you are small. You're microscopic. But you're not small in your energy. That's the thing. There is no comparison. There is no competition. We all are what we are. But when you live in your ego and you live in the construct of the matrix that follows you in fear and keeps you in fear, and your fear is lack of control, it's lack of everything, because you're in lack and you're in shame and you're in guilt. You have to purge all that. You have to release all that energy and all of that and shift the perspective and remember who you are. But me finally, like, when I decided to be a schoolie, like when I was like, a school, but because I was like, I don't want a home. I don't want to be stationed anywhere. There's no place that, like, you know what I'm saying? I want a garden. Which the school bus would be great for. That's the other thing too. Like, being a schoolie and traveling would still be cool. if I had somebody with me, I think, because otherwise it just would be too big. But in the schoolie, I would be able to have a garden. I would be able to have everything I need. And I could maybe get a small bus. Oh, get a small bus. Get a short bus. Get a short bus. Get a short bus. Perfect. Get a short bus. I think that'll work for you if you haven't already. Right? I didn't think about that either, but the short bus would be actually, I think, perfect for you. For the height and everything. Without you having to really modify it. You would still have to renovate it, but you wouldn't have to modify it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, short bus. I've seen a few of them for sale too, and I like them. You can make those work too. Plenty of room. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Well, done deal. Now you know. You're going to have a short bus. Cheaper, better on gas too. Also, I have been told that truly you do not want to buy new. You don't want to buy these Sprinters and all this. You want to buy Toyota. You want to buy older European vehicles that drive on the wrong side of the road, so to speak. Because those last forever. And yeah. And you can fix them. And they're not computerized. Just saying. What's been your favorite memories from since you started being on the... Honey, I've been on my own my entire life. I've been traveling my entire life. When I became nomadic, I was only in my apartment for a year. Before that, I was sharing an apartment for a year and a half, splitting it. Before that, I was renting a room. Before that, I was renting a room. Before that, I was renting a room. Before that, I was incarcerated. Before that, I was in my own apartment. Before that, I was staying with a friend. Before that, I was in Maine. But as for memories, I've gotten to see beautiful things, and having Freddie be free and be able to play in the ocean and the water and run like he should, that's what brings me happiness. That's what gives me memories. As for making memories, I haven't made any memories the past 10 months. I have literally been in hermified crystallization mode, cocoon, butterfly, of purging the last parts of my lack mindset, my identity character. I finally graduated out of level 2. I am now on level 3 of the labyrinth psyops. I teach about that, by the way. You live in a matrix, but your psychology is a labyrinth, and it's 3 levels, 6 chapters, and 9 dimensions from 3D to 11D. He is adorable. And he's so smart. But he makes me so happy when he's just running free and wants to play. The thing I can't stand, though, is that, like, people are weird, man. People are weird. People are weird with dogs and all of it. Just that energy alone. I don't know. And he'll pick up on it. If he senses the energy's not, he goes in. It's like, stop. But eventually we'll get him a furry friend once I get my own bus or whatever. I can't have another furry friend in here. He's already too much. That's another reason why I probably should get a short bus or a bus. I really kind of just, yeah. Is what it is. As for blankets, make sure you have plenty of cotton blankets. And I also bought a weighted blanket to help me all the way around. Physically, muscly, and to kind of keep weight on me to help me sleep better. Because, you know, you are more out in the open, so to speak. People are weird, yeah. I shouldn't even say that, right? People aren't weird. It's just energy. We don't all mesh, right? We just don't all mesh because we are all on different timelines. We're all on different consciousness. And when I say timeline, that has nothing to do with what's going on in your world's current events. It has to do with your own timeline in your life. Everything you go through is an experience. If you don't learn from it, then you stay stuck and stagnant. And then want to know why you're not happy. Well, because you haven't learned and you haven't changed the behavior. You're still expecting the same thing from the same action. We live in a world of cause and effect. I'm like, fuck you, I've done my shit. Oi! I'll say one thing though. One of my biggest pet peeves about being nomadic is the headroom. I don't really have headroom, and it does kind of give you a Jim Carrey like ah. Not always, but sometimes. Especially when my hair just keeps hitting. I definitely found you as a reminder to what I promised myself to do years ago. And I appreciate all that you're saying. Big time, including the van tips. Awesome. I love that. Excellent. Yeah. And that's why I do what I do. And this is why I do what I do. Simple. Because we all have to remember who we are, okay? And we have all been lied to. We all have the power within. And when I was at my lowest, my divinity, whatever, I found people online. Like, there were certain creators that I found. Juggling Jenkins was one of them. She really helped me because she was an addict that was not an addict anymore, a recovering addict. And I was still dealing with the whole putting the alcohol down type of thing. And the fact that she was going through it and her different ways of looking at things helped me, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, we put it out there because it's keys. It's information that's going to help the next person, right? Because we're in a game. So we pay it forward. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I just always wanted to, like, return the favor in a way. Like, she really helped me out, and she's actually not really doing very well now. She plateaued. Like, she's still in recovery. She stayed in recovery. Like, she didn't advance out of recovery. Here's the thing. We're all addicts. Once you release the addiction, you're not an addict anymore. And you need to release that narrative. But some people stay in that narrative. So she's in that narrative that she's still an addict and in recovery, and that she is an introvert and has massive anxiety. She has a new relationship, which is amazing, and her children are amazing. But if you see how she has trapped herself in her mindset of thinking how she has only control over so many things because all these problems are something she can't get rid of. Blows my mind. I passed that. So now I talk about past that to help people that way. Because here's the thing. You're not going to change anyone. You just have to plant the seeds. And if the seeds sprout and grow, yay. If they don't, then they don't. Right? You can only lead a horse to water. So, that's all. But and I love her still, so I just, it's, I've even made comments on her thing when, like, she was talking about anxiety, but I haven't really heard anything back, so. She's written books and everything. She's done well that way, but she's still stuck in the mindset of that she has anxiety, that she has an addiction problem. She doesn't have any of that. These are all cause and effects. These are unhealthy coping mechanisms. She is limitless. She is very valuable, but she is trapped in that perception and perspective, in that veil. Are we understanding that now? Are we getting how the veil kind of works? I love that. Thank you. However, you're probably not going to like me talking about relationships. Hi, I'm the girlfriend. Hi, girlfriend. How are you, girlfriend? Oh, I love the 777s. So, how old is this couple that I'm talking to? Also, I want you to realize that, oh, you're babies. You're 23. Okay. All right. You're babies. You're babies. And I mean that in the most loving, beautiful way, okay? Because here's the thing. Your brain doesn't fully develop until it's 25. Okay? So what you think you know now is going to be different when in 2 years. Literally, will shift. And that's going to be your first perspective shift that you witness. When you turn 25, you're going to realize and go, holy shit. I thought I knew everything at 16 or da-da-da-da. You're going to see a shift. And that is where it begins. You can stay and be like, okay, well, whatever, and keep doing what you're doing. Or you can keep digging. But That saying you have to experience the bad to appreciate the good is a lie. But you do have to go through your experiences to shift your perspective. Hence, when you're 25, you shift, right? You have to go through experiences. You have to go through things. You have to remember who you are, and that's your sovereignty, and that is your value and your self-love within. You have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. And this is where you're not probably going to like what I'm going to say. Every relationship you have, including your parents, is a lesson and a test. If it falls under the lame relationship, it is a lesson and a test and an experience. You will not align with anyone solely, all of it, until you align with yourself, mentally, physically, and emotionally, and spiritually. You have to love yourself full-heartedly and see only love on the outside, because that's what you are on the inside, because love is not an emotion. Love's not the emotion. Love is the state of being that you are chasing outside of you to be given to you, that you already possess within you. That has been the biggest lie and biggest coerce, besides, the manipulation of religion and Jesus, the criminal that he was, preaching against the institutions, and yet they use him to support their institutions. Diabolical, but genius. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's an art in arguments, isn't it? Make it so... oh my God, I don't even know. It's like chaos, right? Chaos, whatever. I don't know. Where did we go with this? Anyway, so self-worth is sovereignty. And self-worth is, again, seeing that there is no competition, there is no race, and we are all one. When you are with someone, you want the best for that person, you want to support that person, and you want that person to grow as much as that person wants you to grow. If there is ever any obligation, loyalty, manipulation, you are in a toxic relationship. I'm just going to throw that out there. I know I'm young, but I understand all of what you're saying. Done my digging very early in my life, still digging. Now felt the shifts because of my life's path in general, so don't dislike what you're saying. It's very real. Wait, what happened? And that's good. So you're very connected in your intuition and your knowing, and I love that. I think that's amazing. And I was too. Where I fell down and got completely lost was when I abandoned myself in my marriage. I think at that time, how old was I? I married him at 24. So about 30. 29, 30 is when I abandoned myself. I abandoned myself around 29, and 39 I wanted a divorce again. I was finding my voice again. Ironic. Anyway, but that 10 years that I abandoned myself, oh my God. When you abandon yourself completely and you don't live truly for yourself, and you are living to please everyone else and sacrifice yourself, it will eat you and kill you eventually. Physically, mentally, all of it. I did turn to alcohol as a coping mechanism, and I ate processed food. I did it all. I still worked out. I was a great mom in that aspect and everything like that, but I was hurting my body. And not to a point where I thought there was any issue at the time. Like, I was doing the right thing. I was morally doing the right thing. No. But that's where the veil really came down, because when I finally broke out of the marriage and put the alcohol down, I got clarity in the abuse that was going on around me and what alcohol was. But that's as far as the veil went. I was still eating processed food. I was still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I only saw so far. I still was watching TV and movies and being influenced and being stuck in that paradigm. We have to break out completely out of all of the illusions and traps that are indoctrinating, conditioning you, and keeping you in a lower vibration. Just remember never to truly abandon yourself, because we all abandon ourselves as infants that we have to get back. But when we abandon ourselves in full action of just full on sacrificing, then yeah, it's detrimental. Yes, I talk about this. So what is essential in the morning? Movement. And yoga is amazing. And you don't have to move a lot. You don't have to go to the gym and freaking be this bodybuilder. Just move your body. Move your body. There's just like simple things that you can do in the morning to get your juices flowing. Meditation is literally just sitting with yourself. Write a journal. Write out affirmations or things you want to say to yourself. And just sit there for even just 5 minutes. And it doesn't matter if things are running in your head. Let them. Observe them. Don't absorb them. Observe them and go, why was I thinking that? What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? And this is where you start mindfully paying attention to what? Our energy and what's going on. Because the thoughts are just there. We don't think thoughts. We receive our downloads when we are what? In the shower, or when we are what? Quiet. And that is where a lot of your answers are going to come in. Akashic records are just you remembering who you are and having the knowledge within your brain that comes down and goes, hey, oh my God, that's amazing. Where'd that information come from? You know? And that's kind of how that works. But I want everyone that's listening to me to give yourself grace, because everything in this world is an attachment. Your clothes are an attachment. Your food's an attachment. Everything is an attachment, and it's an attachment to safety. The illusion of safety. Because you're always safe. Fear is the lie. Fear is the false. Yes, do we bleed? Yes, do we hurt? Yes, is there pain? Yes. But that is all temporary. It's yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. You can't have the light without the dark, right? You can't have the one without the other. You got to balance it out. Which is why I always say, why do I have nothing but hating mega maggots on my Facebook and it's not balanced out? Make that make sense. Why is that not balanced? That should be balanced, universe. I like to call the universe out when it's messing with me. Anyway, yeah, so there's lots of levels to remove of the matrix alone. There's 7 layers of the matrix as well. So now that I guess TikTok is dead, I am going to focus back onto my Twitch. This is going to be a daily thing. Unfortunately, though, I feel like I have to be on here for, well, I was told it was 3 hours. Does anyone know how Twitch works? Do I have to be on this thing for 8 hours at a time? How do the lives work? The streaming? When I started this over a year ago or so on Twitch, it was only 3 hours every day that they wanted. Is it more now? I'm just curious. We have made it an hour, so that's pretty cool. Read The Invisible Coop by... What is that? Oh. The Matrix itself, I would say. Yay! Three should be fine. I hope so. Because that's really all I can do. I feel like and three's a lot. But it worked for me. I was doing it for a while. And yeah, so I guess we're ironic. Going back to that again, I guess. So here's my thing. I've already uninstalled TikTok from my tablet. I want to do it from my phone so bad, and it's the curiosity is holding me. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found I have an attachment to something. But I'm working it out. Yesterday I posted all the drafts that I wanted to post and I took them off. I have no qualms about losing the page. It's the curiosity that, is it dead or is it gonna come back? And why do I care? Should I care? I shouldn't care. I should let it go. Ah! I know, I gotta do it. And I'm just like, ah! So my attachment to TikTok, though, is the part where it's ironic. Because before I was incarcerated, TikTok was huge, or it was blowing up in a way, and Trump didn't want it. He was going to shut it down, saying all this China thing. So I never downloaded it then. And then when I got out, I downloaded it because I heard all about like how people were just, blowing up and how that's where everyone was getting their information and yada, yada, yada. And I wanted to play. TikTok helped me be able to do social media, to do lives, to be able to interact with trolls and comments and actually produce videos. TikTok really enabled me to be able, because their app was so easy to use. So that's my attachment, I think, in a way that it was such a vehicle to get me where I am now. But we have to say goodbye. I have to say goodbye. Nothing lasts forever. Change is essential and inevitable, and I have to change. I guess when I'm off this live, I'm going to uninstall TikTok. I'm not deleting the account because I don't delete any of the accounts because there's no reason to delete the accounts. I'm going to give you a little secret. Don't delete any account ever. Why? Because they will hold it and they will take your shit. If you don't delete your account and just sign out, they can't touch it. They can't do anything to it because it's still there. Get it? Got it. Even if it comes back, should you come back to it is the question, or do you no longer align with it? Good question. Honestly, the one I don't align with is Facebook right now. Aligning with TikTok, probably not, but I have a following there, and I was making pennies. So I was making pennies. I like the pennies. But no, I would feel drained. I'd feel irritated. Like I actually feel even freer not using the app at all, which makes me realize, because when China had the TikTok, like, so they do these flashy lights on the app. TikTok's app in itself was detrimental. And I've noticed the difference now. It's not China's, because it's not holding me anymore. It's very easy to delete it now or uninstall it, which is ironic. It just, I don't know. Reaching where you are now again is possible, but adapting with it is what will bring you there again anyway, even if it's in a different way. Right. And that's, practice what we preach, right? Practice what we preach. And that's where it's time. And I've known this. In a way. I had a second account on TikTok. I made just a spiritual account to see if that would do better. And that got completely shut down, and I got locked out of it due to violation, because I was talking about holistic health and real food. They never took the account down. They never did any of that. They just blocked me out. You have no access to it anymore. I'm like, okay. I didn't get mad then. I just was like, are you really? I was like, all right, whatever. So much for that dream, and I let it go. And I know this one's a little bit easier because, I even witnessed a girl. She had over 4 million likes. Like 300,000 followers. I only have like 500,000 likes and only 30,000 followers. So it's not a big deal. Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't make videos per se with readings, because what I do is personal. My website is linked in the profile, and what I do is what therapy should be. And we confront your ego. I tell you exactly where your ego is. I give you the answers you need and the keys to move forward. We talk to your higher self. We talk to divinity, the energies around. So, yeah, it's one of those, hello from South Africa. Alright, so Infinite, I guess, wants me to touch base on romance. 2 for duality. Skin on skin contact, right? Sex in itself is debauchery, guys. Sex in itself is a lower vibration control manipulation tool. Why do you think it's great? Because it's not about the act, it's about control and power. Have you ever heard of Kundalini and Tantric? Stop releasing your energy and transfer your energy up through your chakras and experience true frequency, vibration of who you are. And again, this is going to the girlfriend as well, because you hold DNA for 7 years. Just gonna let you know. Energy's real, guys. Energy transfer is real. And if you are trying to heal and help yourself, having someone's energy in you is not going to work. Just say, what's happening here? You're dying. My YouTube's dying. My YouTube is losing power. Oh, you're at 10%. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. All right. Ashe, I have to sign off. You're at 10%. If you would like a session reading with me, my website is linked in the profile. Otherwise, hop on Twitch and yeah, see you there.